Welcome to the Blanco Wellness Podcast. Thank you for being here. Take a breath, settle in, and let's talk today about something most people carry quietly and rarely give themselves permission to properly put down. We spend a great deal of time in this series talking about the pain other people have caused us, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the moments when someone's choices left a mark that took years to fade. That conversation is important and real, but today I want to turn towards something different, and in some ways harder. Today I want to talk about the moments when we were the ones who caused the pain. Not because we are bad people, because we are human people. And human beings, without exception, cause harm sometimes, through carelessness, through poor judgment, through the particular blindness that comes with being inside our own perspective, through the ways that our own wounds make us less careful with the wounds of others. Sometimes we say something that cuts deeper than we realized. Sometimes we make a decision that affects someone else in ways we did not fully consider. Sometimes we leave when staying would have mattered. Or stay when leaving would have been kinder. And sometimes the understanding of what we actually did arrives much later, when the moment is long past and cannot be reached. When that understanding arrives, a specific feeling tends to follow. Guilt or remorse, or the particular ache of regret. The mind moving backward, replaying what happened, arriving again and again at the same moment with the same wish. If only it could be different. For many people, this replay continues for years, not because they are especially flawed, but because they care, because the recognition that they caused pain to someone matters to them, and the caring produces its own form of suffering. Guilt, in its initial form, serves a genuine purpose. It is information, a signal from the conscience that something happened that conflicted with your values, that someone was affected in a way that matters, that a different choice would have been better. In that early stage, guilt is the mind doing its job. The problem arises when guilt outlives the function it was designed to serve. When the lesson has been fully absorbed, and the remorse has been genuine, and the understanding has arrived, and the self-punishment continues anyway, daily, for years, long past the point where it is teaching anything new. Think about the experience of touching something very hot. The pain is immediate and the message is unmistakable. Move away from this. Once the message has been received, the pain has done its work. Continuing to touch the same surface every day for the following decade does not deepen the lesson. It simply produces ongoing damage. Many people relate to their own past mistakes exactly this way, returning to the moment again and again, applying the pain again and again, as though sufficient self-punishment will eventually equal absolution. It will not. Absolution, in the genuine sense, does not come from how much you suffer over what you did. It comes from what you do next. A man once came to a teacher carrying a weight of guilt over an accident that had caused harm he could not undo. He asked, in real distress, how to make right what had happened. The teacher said, with genuine gentleness, "You cannot undo what is already done." The man's head dropped. The teacher continued, "But you can decide what kind of person this experience will help you become." That shift, from trying to solve the past, which is impossible, to asking what the past is asking of you now, which is entirely within reach, is the movement from guilt that imprisons, to remorse that genuinely transforms. The Taoists understood the direction of time in a way that is simple and practically important. The river flows forward. The water that has already passed this point is gone, not retrievable, not subject to revision. The question is never whether we can return to what has already moved downstream. The question is how we move forward from where the river currently is. This is not a philosophy of avoidance. It is a philosophy of honest engagement with what is actually available. The past is not available for revision. The future is. And what the past has to offer the future is not the continuation of suffering over it, but the genuine change that suffering, properly metabolized, makes possible. There is a difficult dimension of this that deserves honest acknowledgement. Sometimes the person we hurt does not forgive us. Sometimes they move on and carry the wound we caused for a long time. Sometimes an apology, offered sincerely and at the right moment, is received badly, or not received at all. And sometimes, no matter how much we wish otherwise, what was broken cannot be fully repaired. This is genuinely painful, the recognition that another person's healing process is not ours to direct, that forgiveness belongs to them and not to us, that our remorse, however real, cannot compel an outcome that only they can decide. What belongs to us is simpler and smaller. Honesty about what happened. A genuine apology where one is possible and welcome. And the ongoing work of becoming someone who causes this kind of harm less. An apology, when it is offered sincerely, does something real. It names what happened. It acknowledges the other person's experience. It takes responsibility without deflection or justification. This matters, regardless of whether forgiveness follows, because the truth-telling matters, because the other person's pain deserves to be seen, even if you cannot fix it. But an apology without genuine change is a performance, not a reckoning. The full work of remorse is the becoming, the shift that occurs in a person who has genuinely absorbed what their actions cost, who carries that understanding forward into how they move through the world from here. The Buddhist tradition is clear that self-compassion is not the enemy of accountability. These are not opposites. A person can take full responsibility for harm they caused, while also extending to themselves the basic recognition that they were a flawed and limited human being, doing damage in the ways that flawed and limited human beings do, not maliciously in most cases, but through the ordinary imperfection of a self still in the process of learning. Treating yourself with contempt over this does not serve the person you hurt. It does not make restitution. It does not produce the kind of growth that would mean something actually changed. What produces growth is honest reckoning followed by genuine care. The kind of clear-eyed, self-respecting attention to who you are and who you want to be, that contempt by its nature forecloses. As we close today, I want to leave you with a question worth sitting with honestly. Is there something you have not yet forgiven yourself for? A mistake, a decision, a version of yourself that you are still holding on trial? If the lesson has been genuinely absorbed, if you have taken whatever responsibility was available to you, if you have genuinely tried to become better, then the stone has done its work. You do not need to keep carrying it, not because what happened did not matter, but because the truest way to honor the people we have hurt is not to remain imprisoned in guilt about them. It is to become, through what the experience taught us, someone who causes less harm from here. That is what genuine remorse is actually for. Thank you for being here with me today. Until next time, be well.